I wanted to talk about something that I noticed with our people collectively. And what I feel is that our people suffer from narcissistic abuse collectively. We also, obviously, as the prophet said, we need to learn to love instead of hate. And so I think that if we can work on loving ourselves and loving each other, we can make progress. Because I think one of the things that we kind of missed, and I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if anybody else has said this, but this is something that I thought of, is that I think that before we nationalize, I think we're missing something critical, which is we need to fix ourselves before we can fix our status. Because what is our status with regard to ourselves? Like, what is our relationship with ourselves? And how we know our relationship with ourselves is how we view other people. Like, because when I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm seeing different people criticizing all women are doing this, all men do that, making fun of each other, laughing at each other. I think that that's a reflection of ourselves. I think that we need to start by looking within and asking ourselves, why am I judging this person? Because this person is, I'm supposed to love them. They're my brother, they're my sister. I think we need to have more compassion for each other. I think we need to sit down and listen more. I think we need to, judge less and listen more. If we are going to be a nation, we're going to have to work together. We're going to have to build together. We're going to have to get along. And we're not going to get along if we're constantly pointing the finger and saying, and finding fault with the other person. I think that if we can first repair our own self and look within and say, what can I, what areas do I personally need to work on? And I think that in doing so, we will come to the realization that we have more love for each other because we are doing the inner work. When we do the inner work, then we'll be more understanding towards someone else's situation. We don't know how that person was raised. We don't know what kind of household they were in. We don't know how they were treated by their family. We don't know how they were treated by friends or whoever. We don't know anybody else's situation. All we can do is not judge someone else because, we're all in this trying to better ourselves. This is all about learning to grow. We're all trying to improve ourselves. That's why we went to get a nationality in the first place. We wanted to better ourselves. And I think that in bettering ourselves through the nationality, it doesn't stop there. Like the prophet said, when you've studied all you can study, study yourself. And what I was saying is study yourself, and I'm not disagreeing with the prophet, but what I'm saying is that I think that we need to look at our own character first and fix our own internal issues. We need to do the inner work so that when we come together, we can be more emotionally mature and more understanding and really not be childish and laughing or pointing the finger or making fun of other people. Because if people show that they can't be trusted or they're not on our side or whatever, then we can work through that when that situation arises. And we can come to a mutual understanding that, okay, we do not, our opinions do not align, then we can just move forward to the next, whatever the next step is. But the whole point of this, what I'm trying to say here, is that I really think that we need to, at this point, we need to start really implementing the prophet's teachings and not lose sight of what he said and not lose sight of the mission, which is ultimately to come together and be ourselves again.